Hi Mustangs, happy Diversity Week. I'm Mrs. Lee and I teach second grade here in Miramonte. Today I'll be reading a Hmong Cinderella called joua. Joua in Hmong means young orphan. In this story, joua lives with her mom and dad, but when her mom is turned into a cow, her dad is left lonely, so he remarries a mean woman who has a daughter named Ding who is also as evil as her. Let's read to find out what happens to joua. In a sun-splashed clearing high in the mountains of the ancient homeland of the Hmong, there lived a farmer, his wife, and their daughter, a kind and beautiful girl named joua. We will never have a good harvest without the help of a cow, fretted the farmer one day. So he and his wife set off to the market. To their surprise, they found only one cow for sale, and already another man was bargaining for it. Not sure who should get his cow, the owner proposed a contest. He served them bowls of steaming hot rice soup and declared, "Whoever finishes his bowl first will win the right to buy my cow at a very fine price." The first man slyly slipped cold water into his bowl and quickly drank the soup. The farmer, unaware of the trick, was still blowing his soup when the other man strutted off with the cow. "We must have a cow to plow our fields and carry the grain," insisted the wife as they walked home. "Let me become a cow for a while to help bring in the crops. You can care for me and we will all have a good life." Without a word of protest, the husband took 3 vines and wound them 3 times around his wife's ankles, 3 times around her wrists, and 3 times around her head. In a flash of lightning and a clap of thunder, the wife became a cow. "Father, you bought a cow," joua ran to greet him. "Where is mother? She'll be pleased." "Joua, this cow is your mother." "What do you mean?" joua asked, puzzled. "I did what your mother said to do." The father nodded toward the gentle cow standing at his side and told her what had happened. Shocked at what she heard, joua cried out, "Mother, mother, please come back." But the gentle cow, no longer hearing with the ears of a human, simply mooed. With a heavy heart, joua slowly led the cow toward the far fields. With the help of the cow, the farm prospered. But then, instead of changing the cow back to his wife, the farmer selfishly married another woman. He told the second wife, who had a daughter near the age of joua, of his duty to care for the cow. "What is this?" the new wife asked when she heard the husband's story. "Is it not enough that the first wife's daughter is more beautiful than my Ding? Now I am expected to take second place to a cow?" Worst of all, when she found out that the cow was really joua's mother and was magically spinning rolls of silken thread around her horns for joua, the second wife's heart began to burn within her. She stormed, "Your joua, not my Ding, will cut the wood, cook the meals, and keep this house clean from now on." To keep peace, joua and her father worked from dawn until dark. Still, the stepmother and the lazy Ding sulked and grumbled. "Husband," called the new wife one morning, "my life with you makes me so sick, I'm going to die." And with that, she fell back on her mat, rolled her eyes upward, and groaned loudly. "Go to the giant dead tree at the forest's edge." She clutched her head as if it was throbbing with pain. "Its spirit will tell you how to help me." But no sooner had the husband set out than the scheming woman leaped up from her mat and dashed by a shortcut to the old tree. When the man neared the tree, he took 3 joss sticks of incense and lit them with great reverence. Timidly, he asked the powerful spirit for help. Pretending to be the tree spirit, the wife disguised her voice and from her hiding place said, "You have a wise wife, my good man, but only one thing will help her. There is an evil spirit in those rolls of thread joua brings home. Burn all and the thread and your wife will be healed." Sadly, the father gathered the rolls of shimmering thread and threw them into the cooking fire. They flared into millions of brilliant sparks. Yet when roll after roll of secretly spun thread continued to appear in the house each day, the new wife knew she must take even stronger measures. "Husband," called the wife one morning, "I am so sick, I will not live through the day. Return to the giant dead tree at the forest's edge." She clutched her stomach as if it were throbbing with pain. "Its spirit will tell you how to help me." And so again the farmer went to the tree and asked its powerful spirit for help. Pretending to be this tree spirit, the wife disguised her voice and from her hiding place said, "You have a wise wife, my good man, but only one thing can save her life. The good spirits of your ancestors demand the sacrifice of a cow. Kill the cow and your wife will not die." "Kill my cow?" the husband asked mournfully. On his way home, the husband gasped when he saw the gentle cow already lying lifeless where she had lain down the night before. She had died of a broken heart. Night after night, joua and her father sat on a log near the place where they buried the gentle cow. It was a very sad time. The birds hushed their songs. The butterflies folded their radiant wings. The despairing husband soon died, and the gentle joua fell even more silent. As for the stepmother, she became more and more talkative. She talked about her fine health, she talked about her fine clothes, and she talked about her plans for her fine daughter Dane. Later, when the new year arrived, the stepmother and her daughter wanted to be the very first to arrive at the village festivities. Before they set out, the stepmother called to joua. "Girl," she ordered, "see that the rice is clean and ready for dinner." Cruelly, the stepmother had stirred thousands of tiny pebbles into the basket of rice kernels. Obediently, joua spent the first 2 days of the New Year's celebration picking stones from the rice. Finally, finished on the third day, joua sat down to rest. Reaching for her mother's old sewing basket, she pulled out the piece of cowhide that she had hidden deep inside. She pressed the soft hair to her cheek and closed her eyes. "Never sit idle, my child," joua remembered her mother saying. Dutifully, she reached for her sewing, thinking of her mother's promise. "My spirit will always be with you." Suddenly, there in the basket appeared a skirt and a blouse and an apron embroidered with delicate needlework. Beneath them were a glorious headdress and 2 exquisite purses bordered with coins that jingled musically when she touched them. And what was that sparkling under the purses? Excitedly, joua uncovered a wondrous silver necklace that shone brilliantly in the late afternoon sun. Joua slipped into the elegant clothes. They fit perfectly. Joyously, she twirled round and round, and the skirt opened wide into a circle of vibrant colors. She looked into the basket again. There, before her eyes, appeared a pair of dainty shoes. They seemed to dance to the sound of the music drifting from the village. Just then, joua heard her mother's voice. "My daughter, put them on and hurry to the festival." Happy, joua tucked the soft cowhide deep into her sewing basket and let her new shoes lead her down the path to the village clearing. She wondered if anyone might recognize her. "Who is that beautiful girl?" asked the young men in the festival. Muttered the stepmother, seeing her beauty. But no one knew who the mysterious girl was. Even when joua played catch in the ball toss game, no one recognized her. The shadows lengthened, the games were about to end, and when, at the edge of the clearing, a tall, handsome man appeared. "There is Sheena!" everyone exclaimed, honoring to be joined by the son of the village elder. He was a fine young man of learning and wealth. Sheena began to play his bamboo instrument. The thing made sweet, stirring sounds. The young man danced gracefully as he played. Joua watched delightfully by the music maker. Then their eyes met, and the melody encircled her like a tender embrace. The stepmother wanted the handsome young man to play for her daughter, but Sheena serenaded only the beautiful girl. At this, the stepmother grabbed Ding by the arm and they made off hurriedly toward home. Joanna knew that she must arrive home first to have the meal ready. In her haste, she stepped in a muddy puddle, kicked a rock, and off came one of her shoes. Joanna dared not stop, dared not look back. She must rush home. The handsome Sheena set off after her down the path. "Aha!" he exclaimed when he came upon the dainty shoe. He picked it up and wiped it clean. Then he vowed to himself that nothing would stop him from finding the mysterious, lovely girl whose tiny foot will fit. From village to village, Sheena searched. He searched the farms. He searched the fields. He went from house to house. Everyone heard of his search for the maiden whose shoe he had found. Eventually, he came to Joanna's house. "This way, kind sir," beckoned the stepmother, who had seen Sheena coming. "I recognize that shoe." Then in a loud whisper, the stepmother called, "Daughter, come!" But to her dismay, both girls appeared at once. No, not you," the stepmother tried to wave away lovely Joanna. "Oh, please stay," insisted the young man. "Don't bother with her," protested the stepmother. Then she pushed her own daughter to the stool directly in front of Sheena. But try as she may, Ding could not put the dainty shoe on her bulging foot. Sheena then turned to Joanna. "Please sit here," he said. In a glance, they both could see that the shoe would fit perfectly on her tiny foot. But fearing the stepmother's anger, Joanna backed away. The stepmother, her mind still swirling with schemes to trap Sheena for her own daughter, spoke up. "You will do our house honor if you would stay for dinner." Tired from his long search, Sheena agreed. The stepmother quickly devised yet another deceitful plan. One dish she would make of tasty rice with meat, and the other dry bones with rice hulls. Before serving, the stepmother blew out the oil lamps to make the room very dark. Then she set the best food before Sheena and Ding, while giving the dry bones to Joanna. She hoped Joanna would be left so weak from hunger that she could not distract the guests from her daughter. But the young man saw what the stepmother had done and how sweetly Joanna had endured the trick. Sheena turned to Joanna, quietly saying, "We could see better with more light. Where are the other oil lamps?" Joanna led Sheena from the table. At the doorway, their eyes met again. No need for words, their heart touched. The village, they knew, would bless their love. Joanna swept her mother's sewing basket up into her arms. Then together the two young people left for the home of Sheena's parents. The stepmother and Ding stood in the doorway. Speechless, they watched the couple disappear into the purple shadows of the warm, fragrant night. Okay, the end. If you're interested more in this book, you can find it in Mrs. Hamilton's library, along with other cultural versions of Cinderella. Okay, thank you so much for listening today. Have a great day.